You are listening to Real Estate U live here on News Talk Radio, 1240, 1190, and 910 a.m. Or you might be listening to us on the web at hotnewstalkradio.com. And if you're out and about and you have one of your smartphones with you, you can always pick us up on the TuneIn app, and that's the 1240 WSDT. On the TuneIn app, go there, just look under AM Local, and you'll find us at Hot News Talk Radio, and you can keep up with us everywhere. You are listening to Real Estate U. I am Eric Judd, and as always, my co-host, Mr. John Santeros here.
Hey, Eric, a great day to own real estate.
Every day is a great day to own real estate, John. It's a beautiful day here in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and we just have a very special guest coming up. We have actually two guests, and I mean, we're in tall cotton here.
I tell you, when you know,
city of Chattanooga folks,
the city, when they start flashing their cards, the city of Chattanooga. The only times I see them is when the inspectors come.
I know, and this
is exciting for me.
And we're saying, yes, sir, no, ma'am, to them. Yeah, that's it. But no, actually, we're going to have Heather Cook here in just a moment. She kind of coordinates the homeless program with the city, and she's going to talk about big article in the paper we covered about 2 weeks ago, and then we actually went to the meeting about the veterans homeless situation here in Chattanooga and eliminating that. And then we're also going to have Jonathan Butler, and Jonathan is the affordable housing specialist, which is not just low income housing. It covers a gamut, and we'll touch some things with him too. But first of all, John, we need to go through and kind of talk about what's coming up.
It's a busy week coming up.
Yeah, it is coming up this Thursday, which the Chattanooga REIA will be meeting, and that'd be on May the 7th, and that is Thursday. And as always, that's going to be at the Car Barn at 6:30 p.m. And John, kind of tell everybody what's going on.
Well, you know, everybody says that I need money to be in real estate. No, first of all, I disagree with that.
I think everybody says I need money.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing. Then real estate comes into
there
it.
You
but we'll get onto that. So if you don't need money, then don't come. No. So the thing is that we want to show that you really don't need a lot of money to be in real estate, but there are times when you need some funds to purchase a house or renovate, and we're going to have a panel of various companies come in, a couple of banks, a couple of savings and loan, hard money lenders, private lenders, and just to go over a little bit about how you can put your package together to present to some of these institutions, as well as meeting them right there. Instead of being in their office, it's a casual way to come in and get to know some of the people who can help you out in funding.
Yeah, absolutely. And, like you said, John, it's going to run the gamut. So you're going to be able to talk to and kind of get an idea of what you're going to need or what they're looking for if you do go to one of these avenues for money. And it's always a good eye-opening experience to see the difference from the banking industry even down to
a lot has changed. I mean,
it changed a whole lot.
It opened up, money's freed up a little bit. You're seeing a lot more new construction. You're seeing spec housing. The banks are back in lending. They want to lend. It's just now how do you want to put together your prospectus and to put in front of these people to know what they're looking for,
right?
So that you're not running around because Eric, it's that first presentation, that first initial review that is going to probably make or break your package.
Yeah, and we talk about team building in our Investing 1.1 class, which you can go to our website and sign up for that. It's realestateu.org. That's realestateu.org. You'll see Real Estate Investing 1.1. You can go there, sign up for that. And one of the things that we talk about is team building and, of course, having financing available and how you approach those people with financing as part of building your team.
Exactly. And that's just one part of your team. And one of the things that is neat about the investor group is that there's a bunch of like-minded people there. You can go out and talk to people who have been there, done that,
right,
as well as just starting out. So there's a whole different level. We don't knock anybody for just starting out. I guess we're like that gym that we're not going to.
Yeah.
What was this?
They don't make fun of you or something, no lugs or something like that.
So
yeah.
If you're not pumped up in real estate, you don't have to worry about it. We're not going to make fun of you. And it's a good way to come in and just have a good time. We even feed you.
Yeah. So you have food. Now there is a charge. If you're not a member, it's $25 but it's worth $25 because they feed the mind and they also feed your belly too. So you can go to ChattanoogaRIA.com to find out more information. It is held at the Car Barn, and there's actually a little map on there that will show you exactly where that is. It's located off of Lee Highway, and you can go to ChattanoogaRIA.com. That's Chattanooga, REIA.com, and I hope to see you there on this Thursday. It starts about 6:30. If you get there, about 6:15 or so you can go in and kind of socialize and network, and like John said, meet like-minded people.
Hey, Eric, it's kind of funny because the last couple of weeks we've been talking about how Chattanooga's actually been hitting the map.
Big time.
We've been getting a lot of national news, national reporting, good ones. I mean, they say any news
is good news.
But, I don't know if I want to be selling real estate in Baltimore right now.
No,
but,
no.
So we're getting some really good press, and the neat one that came up, we talked about us being the most I guess
touchy-feely,
karmatic,
city. A lot of goodwill, I think, is what they said. We're the best goodwill city in America,
and we're in the running for America's Best Town from the Outside magazine, and it's a voting type of program, right?
Okay,
so get online and vote. It's outsideonline.com. And vote for Chattanooga. And I think we won once before, or was in the top 5 once before in this.
Who are we competing against?
Well, there's
we know there's no competition.
There's no competition. So that's it. We don't even want to look behind us.
No.
All right, but if we do, there's a couple of them that are out there that I just pulled the West Coast ones, Flagstaff, Santa Fe, Ashland. And then you got in the East, you got Roanoke.
Yeah.
I always love that, Roanoke.
But like Lafayette.
There's no way to top us.
Right.
And look at the stuff we got going on.
I mean, our quality of life here is absolutely amazing.
I mean, even just week, I mean, you got the lookouts going.
Mm-hmm.
There's concerts going on. People walking around downtown. It's. I
mean, any given weekend.
Downtown.
There's a ton of stuff going on any given weekend.
Down. It's free parking.
But even during the week, there's a lot to do. Yeah.
But the thing is, just walk around downtown. You'll be surprised at some of the neat stuff that you'll find. New restaurants opening up right and left. It's a lot of fun.
Well, one of the things is the Chattanooga Whiskey Company has a tour of their facility now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
See, they had
I've seen that advertised.
They had the Whiskey Festival a couple of weeks ago, right? So if you like whiskey, we got that. And of course, you got a whole bunch of people. Wow, some great bars out there that have beers. And
then you got the Chattanooga Market on Sunday, which every Sunday they have a different theme.
About drinking. Is there a theme here going?
No, not yet. That's that happened at 10 a.m. That's when that happens.
It was 12 o'clock somewhere.
Right. All right. We do have guests from the city, so we better hold off on all of the drinking comments. And we're going to bring them on board and let them tell you a little bit about themselves, what they do with the city, and kind of the city's mindset toward what they do with their programs. And we'll start with Heather Cook, and she is the homeless program coordinator with the city of Chattanooga.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and kind of tell us, what does that mean?
Thanks. Well, let's see. What that means is I am here to help get all of our folks in Chattanooga who are currently unhoused to help get them housed.
Okay.
So what we like to say is we are working to end homelessness in Chattanooga, starting with our veterans. Nice.
Very nice. And so I know you kicked off an initiative with the mayor's office, and that was, a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah.
And so tell us, first of all, let's find out a little bit about Heather. You a local girl, or did you move here?
Not so much. I moved here about just a little over a year ago. Now, my husband was born and raised here.
Okay.
So he's delighted to be back.
I bet he is.
I'm still kind of learning my way around a little bit, but it's beautiful, beautiful.
And where are you from?
All over.
Okay.
I spent the last several years in Nashville, Tennessee, though.
Oh, okay. Okay. Not too far away. It's not like you're saying you're from Maine,
right.
And you like our city. So I know you're going to go vote. You have to go vote
Are
on
you
the.
kidding?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. And so Heather you work with the city of Chattanooga. Is that correct?
Mhm.
And you are in charge of the homeless program, and that is finding them houses, not actually, or you kind of tell me, are you more trying to find them housing, or are you working as the overall director where you find other needs for them or help them find other needs as well?
Great question. It's a little bit of all of that, really. Our primary focus and the city's primary focus is permanent housing.
Okay.
So our primary goal is to get all of our unhoused folks in Chattanooga into permanent housing.
Right.
What that looks like, however, is a lot of these folks are going to need some kind of ongoing supportive services once they get into that housing to
Okay.
help them stay in housing. If you're used to, living kind of by different rules, if you're used to living by kind of different rules, that sort of thing, used to maybe living in tents, that sort of thing, it's going to be a little bit harder.
A transition. Yeah.
Absolutely. So we help coordinate. I help coordinate making sure that there are supportive services on the back end as well to help those clients stay in housing.
Okay.
So my role is just kind of help make sure that we're all of the various teams in Chattanooga are working together
Right.
to get everybody housed, and that we're not working apart. We all know what we're doing.
Okay. All right. And also with you today, we have, I'm going to guess he's a local guy or not. I'm not sure, but we have Jonathan Butler, and he's the affordable housing specialist, which does not just only cover low income housing, but a very big gamut. But first of all, we want to know a little bit about Jonathan. Are you from Chattanooga originally?
I am not.
Are you not? Okay.
Originally. I was recruited to
Okay.
come here to focus specifically on affordable housing. Excuse me. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia.
No, well, that's our suburb.
That is.
So you're from a Chattanooga suburb of Atlanta. Okay,
I
we're
am.
good.
I am. And I've been here for a little over a year.
Okay.
And a part of the idea behind some of what I was recruited to do is coordinate some of the strategies that the city is encouraging
Okay.
to preserve and produce affordable housing.
Right. And kind of give us the word affordable housing, kind of give us a range or that may run, because a lot of people may automatically think low income housing, but it's more than that. Is that correct?
Right. So if you think about affordable housing, I think it's helpful to think about it in two ways. One, we are looking at people who generally spend up to 30% of their gross income on housing and housing related services. So
Okay.
that would mean housing, the utilities, the water, those types of things. So that's sort of one category when you think about affordable housing. The other part of that would be individuals whose income would put them in a certain range. So
Right.
we refer to it in terminology as the area median income.
Okay.
That would be looking at sort of Hamilton County. And then we'd be looking at anywhere between 120% of what the area median income is and below.
Okay.
And so that's what we talk about. When we're talking about sort of low to moderate, we would be looking at 80% of the area median income and below that.
Okay.
So we look at it in terms of family size as well. So if you've got a household of three, the area median income based on what the statistics would be as assigned by HUD.
Okay. Okay. So you kind of base it on the HUD. Okay.
That's
all right.
correct.
Well, that's, if I can understand it, I know our audience is probably well ahead of that. So, but, and so both Jonathan and Heather are here because you work together a lot, right? And you kind of, I don't want to say overlap, but as a real estate investor, if I'm interested in what Heather's doing with the veteran program, I will probably more than likely be able to talk to you too. Is that correct,
That's
Jonathan?
correct.
Okay.
That's correct. When we look at affordable housing from my umbrella,
Right.
we look at it as including a diverse myriad of diverse populations. Some of that would include special needs housing, which we would consider veterans homeless housing a part
Okay.
of that. Like we would senior housing
Mhm.
or housing for folks with disabilities, youth aging out of foster care. all of those would fall under the umbrella. So my umbrella is a little bit larger, and Heather is really focusing sort of at a micro level on a targeted population.
Okay. All right. Well, great. All right. Let's bring Heather back. And all right. So you had a huge meeting, which was very well attended, I believe.
It was pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Standing room only.
Oh, it was. I mean, the room was full, and Heather did a great job in kind of presenting. And real quickly, in a nutshell, kind of let's give that to our radio audience and listeners, and let them kind of give them an overview of what the meeting was for and what you're looking for. Because in the second hour, John's going to delve in a lot deeper with this with both of you guys, but I just want an overview. So our
All right, so we had a meeting a couple of weeks ago. We called it our landlord informational session. We asked any local landlords, private or just property managers, anybody to come on in, listen a little bit to us and learn a little bit about what we're asking for, and specifically what the mayor is really asking for our landlords in Chattanooga. And what that is at this point for our veterans, in order to get our veterans housed by the end of 2015,
okay,
is the mayor's specific initiative that we're looking for. In order to do that, we absolutely need more access to 1-bedroom rental units. We have been looking and looking, and it's just not coming easily to us for sure to find those 1-bedrooms. So we need to find, typically private landlords kind of seem to be our sweet spot right now.
right.
For folks who are willing to kind of maybe, get outside the box just a little bit and rent to folks who maybe do have a less than perfect background going on. The good news for those landlords is the fact that they're going to have a case manager that they can reach out to access if they're having any questions or concerns about that person who's renting with them. They're going to have support in a way that they haven't had before.
Okay.
So that's something that we're able to offer that we're pretty excited about, and we really hope it's going to help kind of turn that tide to help folks understand that this is a pretty easy way, really, to help get our veterans housed.
Okay. So you're looking, and you're very specific. You need 1-bedrooms.
Yes,
Is that
sir.
correct?
Yes.
And I mean, what a way to make an impact on your community, helping people that have served their country, that, as Heather said, they may have had something in their life that just, caused this temporary homelessness or temporary setback in their life to happen. And now, as citizens of Chattanooga and as landlords of Chattanooga, we have the opportunity to help them and not only get on their feet, but really change their life. I mean, it really is a life-changing, because, I'm sure these people at one time had a home and you're homeless. And I mean, playing on your mind alone, and then trying to navigate to get back into a home is not easy.
Exactly.
And then, here comes Heather and her group with the case manager, and all of a sudden there's light at the end of the tunnel. And now to really make that light shine and show some sunshine in their life, we need landlords. I mean, basically, you need people with 1-bedrooms that are willing to, and I'm not going to say take a chance, I'm saying willing to help.
Exactly. You're absolutely right. That's the right terminology. We just need folks willing to get out there and help. And, like I say, maybe think outside the box, a little bit.
Yeah.
But again, you're going to have support. You're going to have folks that you can reach out to if you do have any questions, if this is new to you, if you haven't taken any kind of what we call housing vouchers before. Most of our clients are going to come with what's called housing vouchers. If we've got landlords who haven't done that, we can walk you through it.
Right.
Easy. But we absolutely are reaching out to folks who have had experience with perhaps Section 8 vouchers, anything like that before.
And the voucher says, here's how much you're going to be paid monthly.
Exactly.
For this
That's what
client.
it's about. Yes, it's government funding that
Right.
comes through, so it's steady, and it's just like you say, it's not taking a risk. You
No.
know what you're getting.
You're helping someone out. We've all been there where, someone has helped us out in the past, and now it's your chance. And, John and I talked about earlier, this is a great town, and it's what the feel good town or the karma town. It's time to take that feel good and that karma and let's help somebody.
Absolutely.
And that's exactly what you're you coordinate, right, Heather?
Yes, sir. That's
Okay.
exactly
And
what
so,
we're looking
Jonathan,
for.
how do you come in under this how does she fits under your umbrella? So tell us how your umbrella helps her from keep the weather off of her, I guess.
So my umbrella has a lot to do with the resources that we have federally to be able to support housing initiatives.
Okay.
So when you have low to moderate income folks who are in need of housing, oftentimes to produce that housing, we need investors like you all, people who own property or people who are willing to develop property, who can perhaps do a development with a little bit of assistance.
Okay.
A large part of what we do is provide that incentive. We give that assistance to get that project built, to get it renovated, so that you can in turn then get it back into something that is performing, or in the instance of new construction, you're creating new product. We fill in the gaps in the margins. So oftentimes the difference between a project being profitable for you could be a couple $1,000s.
Okay.
What we like to do is we like to help by providing some of that. We look at your development cost. We oftentimes provide percentages of that. We provide gap financing in some instances, or we provide just a blanket. We'll give you X amount of dollars
for this project.
You would construct X amount of affordable units. The contract that we enter into when we provide that assistance is simply that you reserve those units for a certain income bracket for a certain amount of time.
Okay.
And depending on the amount of subsidy we provide, that usually dictates the terms for how long that property stays as an affordable housing property.
Right.
So it directly complements Heather if there is an interest in providing stable, long-term housing for veterans. My projects might take longer to develop than the initial sort of need, as she is looking to attract landlords who have one-bedroom units available now. She has a dire need for that. Well, we're also going to have consistent need as we continue to evolve. My programs look at that from a broader perspective, and we look to try to provide that need and spread it out over a longer time period, and it may take us longer to do the development, but we know that we'll at least preserve those units for affordable housing.
Right. So you're kind of on the property side, making sure that you're, and as you said, in the intermediate and long term, to have the type of properties that Heather's going to need for the homeless vets. So
Absolutely.
That's how you two work together. I mean, I know government gets a lot of bad rap or whatever, but what a great program. And we're here with two people that are working together with really a common goal. And, that is government at its best. And I mean, a lot of people wouldn't probably be surprised that I'm saying that, but I think this is where government comes in and really makes a big impact. And, that is so important because we need to house these people. But at the same time, Jonathan's kind of sticking his hand out and say, hey, let me help you guys that are investing in here, and let's work together to make this, as he said, a worthwhile, profitable investment, so that we can turn around and say, hey, Heather, here, we got a nice place for you. Here, put these people that have served their country in. I mean, it's a wonderful thing. All right, look, we're coming up at the bottom of the hour, and we're going to have Heather and Jonathan back right quick. If you're interested in either one of these programs, you can give Heather a call at 423-643-7301. That's 423-643-7301. Or you can give Jonathan a call, and he has more programs than just what we talked about right now that he's helping Heather with, but he has a lot of programs within the affordable housing side. His phone number is 423-643-7315. That's 423-643-7315. We will have their information toward the end of the show too. We're about to hit our break, and when we come back, John is going to take over, and we're going to get into some specifics of both programs. But look, we need housing for veterans. That's the bottom line. You've got Jonathan that can help you either intermediate or long term with that housing. And we have Heather who can put people in right now and today. As always, you are listening to News Talk Radio on Hot News Talk Radio. It's 1240, 1190, and 910. This is Real Estate U, and we'll be back after the break.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
We've got a table here at Delia's in Saudi Daisy, ready to delight in a plate of authentic Mexican food. Delia's spreads a rich selection: loaded nachos, crazy chicken, homemade tamales, maybe the enchiladas with beef, chicken, pork, quesadillas. Every dish beautifully pictured on the menu to help us decide. Join us for lunch or dinner. We're at Delia's in Saudi Daisy on Dayton Pike near the Thrasher Light. Here's dinner. Delia's uses the freshest ingredients, cooked to perfection. Nachos, homemade. Delia's open every day except the Lord's Day. For lunch and dinner, treat yourself to Delia's genuine Mexican food. In Saudi, call 521-7145. That's 521-7145.
Are you tired of working in corporate America, or have you recently lost your job and would like to consider owning your own business? If you are, please call me, as I can help you look at franchises or business opportunities that fit you, the economy that we're in, and the type of businesses that are right in the greater Chattanooga area. After I help my clients find the right opportunity, I also help them find the best way to finance the business, including paying yourself through the startup phase. If you would like to learn more about opportunities that may be right for you, please call me for a free assessment. My name is Bruce Krebs at the Entrepreneur Source. Phone number is 423-875-5621.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
If the South would have won, we'd have had it made. I'd probably run for president of the Southern states. The day Elvis passed away would be our national holiday. If the South would have won, we'd have had it made.
NASCAR, Laura Ingram, Dennis Miller, David Toulis, Coast to Coast AM, and CBS Radio News. Chattanooga's news, talk, and sports leader.
Hot News Talk 1240.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
Hot News Talk 1240.
I just moved to my new house today. Moving was hard, but I got sweat away.
You are about to embark on a journey through real estate and real estate investing. This is Real Estate U.
Yes, you're listening to Real Estate U here on Hot News Talk Radio, 1240, 1190, and 910 a.m. Or you can listen to us at hotnewstalkradio.com, and you can pick that up on the internet. And you can also go to our TuneIn app, which if you have a smartphone, and that's either an Android or an iPhone device, just download the app and then just hit local or type in 1240 WSDT. That's 1240 WSDT. And pull up that app. And we are going to finish our conversation with Miss Heather Cook and with Jonathan Butler. And in fact, I am going to turn it over to John Santero so he can kind of get some specifics for this. And I tell you what we're asking for. Call in at 423-800-8949 if you have any questions on this, or if you have a one-bedroom that Heather can probably put someone in today or tomorrow. So that's 423-800-8949. And like I said, I'm going to turn this over to John. John, it's all yours.
Well, thanks, Eric. You did a great job so far. I appreciate it. And you know what? We're so happy to have this opportunity to talk about this program. As mentioned, we went to the mayor reached out a couple of weeks ago and made a pledge to house all the homeless veterans before the end of the year. And Heather, it got put on your shoulder to make some of this happen. And one of the things that we were discussing at the landlord meeting was how to make this happen. I know that a lot of people are out there that may have available housing out there. We're asking you to pledge it in. It's for homeless veterans. And believe me, there's a lot of thought that went into all of this, and programs that are behind what we're talking about. And I want to get into that a little bit more deeper, because people think that, oh my goodness, we're going to throw some people in, nobody's going to think about it, and I'm going to be held with all this responsibility. Well, that's not the case at all. And Heather, just so that people know, we are in dire need of 1-bedrooms.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and we are ready to house how many people today?
Excellent question. Right now, we have at least 2 veterans with vouchers in hand.
Okay.
We had our meeting a
Right.
couple of weeks ago. We had 5 veterans.
So we already knocked out 3 out of 5. All right. So listen, we can now, you can house a veteran right now. We have 2 veterans ready to come in and have a house, right? They're not the ones that are paying the bill. That's all going to be done by the Section 8 HUD program.
Those who are able will absolutely pay the part that they can.
Right.
With Jonathan's program, often the clients are expected to pay 30% of whatever their income is. So just depending on what that looks like for the client, they pay their part, and then the government will determine what part they're putting in every month.
Now you mentioned so it's a little bit different, but that's all done by the Section 8 people and all that. They've already went in and made the determination. These people are ready, so you don't have to make that determination. Exactly. Right? They got vouchers in hand.
Yes, these clients have been going out of their way to get everything done that they need to do. It takes a lot of work on behalf of the clients to get a housing voucher in hand.
Heck, it took a lot of work for me to even find out what property I can get, running up and down city planning. But you guys got it all that done ahead of time. This has all been taken care of.
Absolutely. Now we also have a lot more clients kind of in the
pipeline,
yes,
right?
Sir, that are going to be working on getting housing vouchers in hand as well. So in other words, there's always going to be a need. Just like Jonathan was saying, we've got folks today that we can get housed, and we're going to have folks months from now.
Exactly. It's an ongoing program. And then obviously, hey, if we could take care of this opportunity right now, and we can take care of the homeless veterans, as Jonathan alluded to earlier, there's a lot more in that umbrella that we're going to be able to tackle. The seniors and people that are in foster homes and all that, and the handicapped. So this is stage 1. So again, if you have 1-bedrooms, give us a call. We want you to come in and talk to people. I'm also going to say something also. If you have a property, you don't know how to go through Section 8 and what needs to be done, although it is a fairly simple process, it is a learning curve also. As co-owner of the Investor Real Estate Services, and with Eric's approval too, he just gave me, we're going to do this. If you don't want to take care of that paperwork, you want to just kind of pass it on, we will manage your property, full property management, for only $39 a door. So give us a call on that. Also, if that's interested, we'll put you right through the program. We'll go through all the paperwork. We can have a person in your property in a matter of weeks, possibly, or less. So if you want to call into the station, it's 800-8949. Investor Real Estate Services telephone number is 443-4878. That's 443-4878. I keep on telling people to always write down the numbers because you're going to forget. And gosh, I just did. But give us a ring. We'll help you through the process. Now, another thing that I brought up as an investor, and I spoke to both of these people as an investor, this isn't something that you're helping, but you're actually going to be making money. All right. Because the voucher programs that are gone through with Section 8 are market rents. They're fair market rent programs, so that you're not going to discount that, but you're able to also get involved with other programs that can help you fix your properties up, get them ready for a different Section 8 type of programs. We'll get into that a little bit with Jonathan to go over that. This is just the tip of the iceberg as far as what we need. But what we do need are 1-bedroom apartments for this demographic.
Yes, sir.
Now, get into it a little bit about. Well, let's step back for a second. You're on the street. Just wrap your head around it. Luckily, everybody's listening to us. They're in their offices. They're driving their cars. They have a house to go to for whatever reason. Okay. And you say, well, it's not going to happen to me. Yeah, it can. God plays in different ways. So let's just put your head around your now. How do you get medication if you need medication? How people are going to find you? Obviously, you don't have a cell phone. So what this allows us to do also is help these people take care of their immediate need for housing. And then other people can kind of come in. And you mentioned before a little bit about caseworkers. And I want to get into that a little bit, because now you have a spot where there's somebody there. I mean, you're not looking around for where these people are bedding down for the night. They have a home. And that's just so that opens up a whole nother area for help for the veterans.
Absolutely. So the model that we're actually working under is what it's called the Housing First model. And that's speaking to exactly what you're speaking to, which is you get the folks in a home first and foremost, right? You get somebody behind, a safe door so they can go to sleep at night.
Exactly.
And actually sleep and know that they're in a safe space. Once you get somebody in that position, it's going to be so much easier to work on any of those other issues that may or may not be going on with somebody. Just like you say, it takes any one of us to have one really bad week, one really bad month to find ourselves without a home. As much as we'd like to think it can't happen, absolutely it can. So this Housing First model is all about getting somebody in a home first and foremost. And then any of those other issues that might be going on with the client, that's where the case manager piece comes in. And then that case manager is going to help that client with anything that client asks for. If it's, help with any personal issues going on, they're going to have that support as well. But the first and foremost is getting a roof over the head of the folks who've fought for our country, served for our country, get them housed by the end of this year.
Well, and that is that support issue that comes in. So it's helping people go through what we take for granted, that they need a little help in getting, and then once there's others to lean and whatnot. And now, what I think is interesting is when we're blending this together for an investor look at this. Opportunity is to pull away from what the government is doing and be self-sufficient and have a local based mentality. And that's what we're really pushing for right here. This is local people helping local people. And we're doing this in a way where we can utilize city and state and federal assistance to help with going forward on this. So immediate concerns are, yes, we have 2 people right now that need immediate housing, and give us a ring in. We'll have the telephone numbers in a little while to how to reach you directly, or you bring it up right now. What's your phone number so that people know, so they can call up right now? Yes, because I lost my quiz just a minute ago.
423-643-7301.
Okay.
If you prefer email, that's pretty easy too. It's just hcook@chattanooga.gov.
That's a good one. Now, this is immediate, but then Jonathan's going to come in and talk a little bit deeper now on ongoing, because one of the things that you can do as an investor is look at this as a business opportunity. And I said, well, and this is the great part about this. It's a business opportunity that you can put together and use it as a giving back also to your community. And to blend those together sometimes is really difficult to do, but I really feel this is an opportunity to do that. So now, Jonathan, I have a home, and I need some work in it. You guys have plans now and programs that you guys are putting together that would help with some sort of assistance in that too, correct?
Yeah, we do, John. I think it bears mentioning that it's important to think of problem solving in terms of people. And I think it's helpful to recognize that, you know, folks, particularly those who have served our country so honorably, deserve the right to have a safe, decent place to live.
That's true.
And that basic sense of human dignity is the same thing that we try to promote across the spectrum with all housing programs that the city looks to support. We believe that citizens of this great city deserve the right to be in safe, decent housing. That's a part of what we hope to incent with the development in the programs that I look to support.
Right.
We're all in a capitalist society. We do believe that you can have both. You can do a service.
You can have both.
Quality, serve existing structures through some of the programs that we have that support redevelopment and neighborhood revitalization in that way. You can do all those things and you can still run a profitable business.
And it helps everybody. It's your real win-win, because let's face it, the city puts money into a property and now it's not in a tax, it's not collecting any taxes. So now you get it involved, you get it back in the tax rolls. It over time, whatever the city put in gets their money back in taxes, and it's just a viable. Now we're fixed up a blighted neighborhood. We put in somebody that's looking for a roof over their heads. So we just knocked three birds with one stone, as it were.
Sure, and I think it's helpful to also recognize when we talk about people who would fit into this category of what affordable housing means, we're talking about working people.
Exactly.
We're talking about people who are serving us in restaurants every day. We're talking about a lot of city workers would be able to qualify for the programs that I support.
And you know what? I think I read too that almost 80% of the Walmart people working in Walmart would fit under these programs also, if that's their sole sense of
and that's an example of, I think that there is unfortunately a stigma that is associated when you say affordable housing.
That's right.
There's a stigma associated with people who may be renters in these classifications, but there are a lot of people.
It's going to affect a lot of people. Yes, you're right.
Who do a great job of making sure that your investment is preserved. We do something that supports that. We require tenants and landlords, if you're going to participate in our programs, to go through SMART tenant and landlord training.
I'm glad you brought that up. That's a good point. Now, that's not only for tenants.
Yes.
That's for landlords too. So you know what you have to do, you know what your tenant has to do, and there's a pathway to working all that out, so there's no problems.
Yes. And the last thing I'll sort of say in the big umbrella type of perspective, the Burke administration is really, really committed to the idea of making sure that we do something to solve affordable housing problems. There is some criticism about whether we've gone far enough or whether we do enough to make sure that we incent affordable development, make sure that we do something to produce it. 9 times out of 10, if you look at a Habitat for Humanity, for example, they've been supported by us to build the houses that they produce. Private developers, nonprofit groups, and individuals like you and Eric are all members of the programs that we support. So a lot of development that happens, that takes place in all these neighborhoods throughout the city, is being done by folks like you all who have just a little bit of incentive for us. And it goes a long way towards making sure that we not only stabilize our neighborhoods. We revitalize them in some instances, but we help continue to create a society, a city that has a lot of vitality.
Well, and I think I like the direction the administration is going also, and I think it's been ongoing, where instead of housing everybody in these big group housing projects, we're going in a direction now where, you know, maybe that could have worked back in the 70s. That's maybe not a good idea now. And that kind of, well, you know, it goes back to, I guess, the same thinking of putting people in, you know, diversifying your classrooms, diversifying, especially the education, where if you're in a lower end school, the probability of you being lower end is greater. But if you spread that out now, and now you're among other people that are a little bit more diverse than you, that would hopefully bring up the level of the neighborhood rather than drop it. Do you think that that's going to be an ongoing plan, where we'll have the elimination of these larger projects and get more into more diversification in different areas?
Well, HUD requires that we affirmatively affirm fair housing. What fair housing looks like is true housing integration. And what that means is everything from diversity in terms of economics, income, race, class, all those types of things are intermixed. I think the days of large public housing facilities, although we believe Chattanooga Housing Authority is also a partner of ours, they do great work in the area that they work in. They work with extremely low income individuals, and they do great work. The idea, though, is that we do exactly what you suggested. You diversify where housing is, and we believe that that impact has widespread, not only economic impacts for the entire community, but as you talk to it, then filters into education, it filters into crime, it filters into blight reduction, it
intertwines into the other and keeps on going. Well, we talked a little bit about the what you were just mentioning now some of the newer projects that came up, Alton Park projects. I think there was another one off of Chamberlain, if I'm not mistaken, where it's more of a diversified community. Do you see that as the wave of the future now?
Well, I think what we'd like to focus on for us is we like to step in areas where development is completely stopped.
Okay.
And we also like to step in areas where there's a little smoke going on. People like you all, private actors, have come into the market and you've started to do things to help turn a neighborhood or stabilize a neighborhood or make it better. I think the space for government to operate under is working in conjunction with private enterprise, as opposed to us making the determinations of what we think is, hey, this is the
well, that's a excellent point, and I think that goes with the whole philosophy of this radio station, that instead of just saying this is the way it's going to be, follow these rules, now the step back is, and I know this is how you are as a person, because we've had a number of conversations about some of our personal work that we're working on. But realistically, if you are somebody that's out there that is looking at what do I want to do, how do I want to get involved with real estate, what is a game plan to have affordable housing and the broad spectrum of what that really is as part of your portfolio is a smart move. Not only in the fact that it's going to help your community, it's going to help your neighbor, but it makes economic sense when you sit down and you play this out. The city is now saying, listen, come to us, give us an idea of what you want to do. Let us see how we can help you go forward. And you don't have to be one of these big players. It's not, well, of course they make the news and they make the papers. A lot of people that Jonathan helps and works with are people that it's not going to be front page news that we refurbished, 3 properties in East Lake or something. So what's happening is that that whole area of, yeah, there's 300 that made the news. Well, there's 300 individual places that are out there that are also in an excellent position to help with affordable housing.
And so far, for instance, those 3 veterans that have gotten their paperwork signed and are, looking to be moving in very, very soon, because they're private landlords who have stepped up, just like you're saying. They're not, it doesn't always have to be those big places who are going to be able to help us out.
And that's the beauty of this program now. The city is actually reaching out and saying, hey, let's come to us, tell us what you want to do. And this could be, now I'm running the gamut here, but you may have a larger home that has 5 or 6 bedrooms in it. And you may want to say, well, what, who can I do that for students? Or maybe you're not around the campuses. There's a lot of other opportunities that are out there. Jonathan can help you out on a lot of these things. Group homes type of situation. You don't have to have your whole project. A percentage of your project can be put aside for affordable housing. And when you sit down and you look at what the city is offering, that's all we're asking you to do. Give an opportunity to this. So that you can, when you're breaking ground or thinking about going into something, this is a good opportunity. We've been talking about this now for a number of different weeks, and we are so happy that you guys are here to go over it with us. Heather, shout out again your information so that people can get a hold of you.
Absolutely. So my information is 423-643-7301. And again, our biggest focus right now to get our veterans housed is going to be somebody with those 1 bedrooms that are available pretty soon, or going to be available down the line very soon.
Thank you, Heather. Jonathan, you want to give your information right quick?
Yeah, my phone number is 423-643-7315. Again, that's 423-643-7315.
I'd like to thank both Jonathan and Heather for being here today. We appreciate that. A lot of great information. And if you're a landlord out there, you have a 1 bedroom, please give Heather a call, because she has vouchers ready. She has people ready to move in. If you're looking to do a project, no matter if it's 1 house or several houses, and you want to see how you can help with this program or even other programs, then give Jonathan Butler a call. Once again, Heather Cook's phone number is 423-643-7301, and Jonathan Butler's phone number is 423-643-7315. Great show, John.
Well,
wonderful show.
It's not us, Eric. It's our guests.
Yes.
It's like being around the pros. It makes you play better.
Yeah. So,
and listen, don't forget to come to the RIA.
Right. That's
give
Thursday.
Give Investor Real Estate Services a ring. If
423. Yeah, give them a call at 423-443-4878. That's 423-443-4878. The Chattanooga RIA is this Thursday, May 7th. Find out more information about them at ChattanoogaRIA.com. That's ChattanoogaREIA.com. You have been listening to Real Estate U. You can find us on the web at realestateu.org. That's realestateu.org. We'll be back next Tuesday. You're listening to Hot News Talk Radio, 1240, 1190, and 9:10 a.m. You can go to hotnewstalkradio.com. Up next, The Digital Drive with the one and only, the man himself, Russell.
Here comes Dale Earnhardt Jr. He's got third. He's going for second. Earnhardt going for the lead.
The NASCAR Sprint Cup Series is on the Motor Racing Network.